I look like Zorro. It's eclipse time. We are in the eclipse corridor, and I might as well show you the winter special intro. Hey crew, welcome back to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local light worker. I'm a tarot reader and an astrologer, and I'm very happy to be bringing you a special astrological transits checkpoint video. In the video today, in order to reply to the string of messages that I've received from you guys recently about what is going on astrologically, I want to achieve two things with this video today. First of all, I want to create a holding space where you can feel free and safe enough to share your personal experiences. On a very deep level, all of us have the capacity to intuit into the current energies at the moment, if we are open enough to actually feel our way through our experiences, not only think our way through them and plan them rationally. So on a certain level, the planets always transit. There are always astrological things happening in the sky. It's just that at the moment we're having a lot of them, and they're all serving the purpose of ushering us into a brand new way of thinking about the way we make money, our personal connections, and how we want society to look like as we're very close to the Pluto and Aquarius era. So if you have been feeling that the situation is a bit weird in your life, if you have been feeling excitement and yet lethargy at the same time, if you have been trying to contact me to try to understand what is happening, this video is for you. So there is a holding space created here so that you can feel free to express yourself, share comments down below. What have you been going through? How are you feeling at the moment? So that we may learn from one another, and so that I may provide you with love and support and clarity. Okay guys, that's the first purpose of this video. The second purpose of this video is for me to inform you, to help you in this path towards achieving some sort of higher understanding of your current circumstances. Because as we all know, if we are faced with a lot of challenges, what helps us in handling them is deeply understanding the mechanics behind why things are happening to us. What is the deeper lesson? What is the wisdom that we can extract from this difficult situation at the moment? I mean to inform you, and I mean to give you some timelines, some dates to help you get a grasp, some sort of logical understanding of what is happening at the moment with this wacky kind of energy that we're experiencing. So I'll be talking about some of the transits that have begun from 2008, and I'm actually going to be bringing you up until this point today, while also giving you a small glimpse of the future. There will be separate videos on Pluto and Aquarius and what I believe are the benefits and some of the challenges that this era might bring. And there will be another video on Jupiter and Pisces. So I'm not going to go too deep into those specific transits, but I will talk to you about Pluto and Capricorn, Uranus in Taurus, Neptune and Pisces, and the switch between the south node and the north node of the moon that is coming up very soon. So a lot of things to digest and unpack in this video today. I really hope that you can grab something nice to drink and stick around, because I have a lot of things I want to talk to you about. And also feel free to express yourself in the comment section down below. As I said, help me understand what you're going through so that I may like your comment, love it, comment down below, give you some sort of support in these trying but also exciting times. The first significant transit that is happening for us at the moment is the eclipse corridor. We had on the 19th of November a full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus conjunct Uranus. And we are also fastly approaching a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius conjunct the Sun, Mercury and South Node on the 4th of December of this year. Now, the way in which I see see lunar eclipses and solar eclipses and their energy is pretty simple to my mind. Whatever the lunar eclipse takes away from our life, and usually lunar eclipses actually foreshadow a period when something fated happens in our life to cut us from an addiction, a bad habit, a connection with a person that just turned toxic. So whatever is being vacuumed out of your life with the energy of the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, well, is going to make space for what the new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius is bringing in. There is this sense of divine cosmos energy at play, even if our tiny human egos are not able to glimpse what exactly is happening, what are we being granted, what is going out of our life very quickly. This is because things might not exactly happen for you on the dates of the eclipses. Try to see the 19th of November and the 4th of December 2021 as gateways that are opening up, and they're creating the space for something to leave your life, something connected to where you have Taurus in your birth chart. We all have Taurus in our birth chart. There is a house there represented by the sign of the bull, this glyph, yeah. Even if we might not have planets there, those of us that have planets in the sign of Taurus and they are very closely conjuncting this energy of the lunar eclipse will be affected the most, such as well the corresponding opposite sign on the zodiac wheel of Taurus, which happens to be Scorpio. These two signs are affected the most in terms of what this full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus is starting to take away from their life. Don't be afraid. Whatever is being taken away from your life has served its purpose. It is no longer meant for you. You've exhausted it, you've completed it, you passed the exam. Now it's time for your diploma. And it's making space in this beautiful, balanced, karmic, divine order kind of way for whatever the new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius is resolarizing in our chart. There is more light flushing into the collective system and also in each of our individual charts in that specific part of your chart where you have Sagittarius. Again, the same thing applies. People that have a lot of planets in Sagittarius will be the most affected, or you don't even need to have a lot. You can just have one. You know, you might have your Sun, your Venus, your Mercury parked there. That is going to be a significant moment for you. The 4th of December, it's opening up an energetic gateway where you are asked to get ready to receive fresh energy in your life. And in the similar vein, the sign that is opposite from Sagittarius on the astrological wheel, Gemini, will be affected. Whether you have your Sun, Moon, Ascendant, South Node, Venus, Mars, Jupiter parked there, that energy will be strongly resolarized with this new moon solar eclipse taking place on the 4th of December. So this is the first important transit that is affecting us at the moment. Fated energies at play that are removing something in our life in the area of your chart where you have Taurus. So study your chart, know thyself. That is the beginning of all progress in your life. And also, new things are coming in, fresh energy is being poured in that part of your chart where you have Sagittarius. Now, this is also happening on a collective level. So we're about to see some really interesting changes in terms of prosperity, abundance, and how we access resources, but also the connection that we have here on Earth with the divine, because Sagittarius represents the cosmos and Taurus represents Gaia, the Earth, the place that replenishes us and gives us the stable foundation. So there will be some really interesting shifts in the coming 6 months. Get ready for this, guys. We're up for some really exciting things happening. Other significant astrological transit that has been taking place from the 16th of May 2018, and it will actually wrap up on the 27th of April 2026, is the fact that we have Uranus, the planet of shock, awareness, spontaneity, random things happening overnight in order to unblock our minds and help us come quickly with solutions as to what we can do to solve this problem, is in the sign of Taurus. And this is not an easy energy to handle because Uranus brings chaos where Taurus wants to create stability and security. Taurus is the sign of the earth. It is fixed earth, the most stubborn form of earth there is. And if you guys know Taurians, they really are into their creature comforts. They enjoy their food. They enjoy keeping things simple. They enjoy a good life, good materials, you know, good prospects. They love their money. They love to save it. They love to teach us how to save our money and protect our assets as well. Taurians are very beautiful, they're very stable, and they're very reliable. They are into pleasures. However, with Uranus transiting their sign, and this is especially significant for those of you that have Sun in Taurus, Moon in Taurus, and Ascendant in Taurus. With Uranus transiting those specific intimate markers of your identity, you are being reconfigured from the point of view of what it is that you really want to achieve in your life. Your identity, the Sun. What does your life revolve around, Sun in Taurus? What do you want to achieve in this lifetime? What have you been struggling towards? And are the goals that you have been struggling towards really worth of attaining? What about your emotional landscape, Moon in Taurus? How comfortable are you feeling with the emotional commitments that you have created? How do you relax? Is your relaxing strategy working for you? Is the way in which you ingest food helping your body, and is it replenishing your energy level? Do you need to do some sort of deep shadow work regarding maybe some greedy aspects, some taboo subjects that have been filtering through your unconscious mind and your personal connections? And Ascendant in Taurus, my loves, you are being completely electrified. You are coming across in a very chaotic way to other people. You might not be conscious of this because the Ascendant sits across from the 7th house, our shadow self, our blind spot. So you're going to be pulling into your energy a lot of intelligent and yet crazy characters in your life. People that will be flipping in and out of your energy in order to help you understand who you are. They'll drop a lesson in your lap and then move on. And you'll be left to process these new experiences. And the more you process them, the more your mind expands, the more your social network will expand, and the stronger you will become. Uranus also rules the banking system, the beauty industry, and also the housing market. All of these areas are completely bombarded right now with fresh new energy. One example can be how people are moving from paper money to technological accounts, right? To cryptocurrencies as well. Everything is being placed on a card at the moment, and people are even talking about inserting chips in your body. So Taurus, the body, right? In order to travel more freely just by swiping your wrist on a machine. So to recap, the signs of Taurus and Scorpio are the ones that are strongly affected by these increasing bouts of awareness that are coming into their life due to the transit of Uranus and Taurus. Not only that, but these two important fixed water and fixed earth signs are about to be electrified by another significant transit. Since 5th of May 2020, we've been having the transit of the lunar nodes of the moon, those two imaginary points on an ecliptic as the moon orbits the earth, and they represent karmic past life death and what we are actually supposed to achieve in this incarnation here to fulfill our destiny. The south node is the death, and the north node is the obsessive thing that we crave to achieve in this incarnation. Well, the transit of those two lunar nodes have been in the signs of Gemini, the north node, and Sagittarius, the south node. This has been a collective push towards us giving away our freedom to travel, in some cases even our human rights, and our capacity to choose, as we see with the whole vaccine debacle that is happening at the moment politically and socially. At the same time, local technical delivery services have exploded. We were so obsessed with ordering things online and getting them quickly delivered to our doorstep. We were obsessed with developing apps, with learning new skills so we can adapt very quickly to this chaotic, economical, and social landscape. That is the energy of the North Node in Gemini. The North Node in Gemini has been all about the nano aspects of life, small things, miniature things, taking care of our daily needs, taking care of even like postal stamps, and phones, right? Gadgets, things that we carry on our bodies, our watches, jewelry, all sorts of tiny things that we can create, like DIY, arts and crafts, even cooking, things that we can manipulate with our hands. That's North Node in Gemini energy. while we had to evacuate and vacuum out of our system a lot of the things related to Sagittarius energy. And Sagittarius is about cosmos. It's about the law of abundance. It's about instant manifestation. It's aligning your thoughts with your passionate heart and bringing something into being because you take action on it. Sagittarius is about optimism, jumping into risks, being the best, competing, being athletic and physically fit. Well, what were these things that we had to let go of? Exactly these aspects. The gyms were closed, we could not travel, we suddenly lost our faith in the divine. So we went from a we are all connected, let's believe in something bigger than ourselves kind of mentality to an attitude where we're individualistically siloed in our own tiny self-isolated existence, needing to communicate with others mostly through the help of technology. So there is a sense of emotional detachment. Well, the good news, guys, is that this transit is about to wrap up. We are close to 18 months of this kind of energy, and in January, more specifically on the 19th of January 2022, the North Node is going to switch from Gemini into Taurus, and the South Node is going to switch from Sagittarius into Scorpio. Sagittarius suns, moons, and ascendants are going to be revived. Everything that has left your life, even your energy might have left your life, will be returning back to you, my loves. While Geminis, well, you guys had it made. I heard from so many people, having children, buying homes, settling down. Geminis have had such a wonderful energy in their chart at the moment with the North Node, because the North Node is actually pushing you very quickly towards fulfilling your dreams. So if you had your sun, your moon, your ascendant, or even if you had your nodal return with the North Node in Gemini, this period has been your period. Congratulations. Enjoy the seasonal part, because in January it will be actually over. We will move towards concerns regarding money and intimacy. And we might actually need to collectively find a way to let go of obsessing over our personal connections in favor of working more towards a variety of interesting ways in which we can earn our income. Now, the reason why the North Node in Gemini has been a bit tricky to handle, and communication might have been peppered with all sorts of arguments and difficult understandings of which part do I play in this relationship and what is the balance between my own independent needs and your desire to couple up with me. I know that romantic connections have been heavily tested under this transit. Well, this has been because collectively the North Node in Gemini has been conjunct Lilith in Gemini since 19th of July 2021. So in the last couple of months, things have gone a little bit haywire because Lilith, the wild feminine archetype, has joined Rahu, or the North Node in Gemini, this drive for obsessive amassment of information, facts, technological gadgets, and also our sense of emotional detachment has been ramped up by the fact that it's now conjunct this wild, independent feminine force of don't fence me in. Relationships are going through the ringer at the moment, and they're about to be tested once more by the next upcoming energy. So the other really important transit that is happening at the moment as I'm filming this is Venus in Capricorn. Venus is not really comfortably placed in the sign ruled by Saturn, which is a lot about seriousness. It's a lot about almost like a business-minded approach to love. Usually Venus and Capricorns are perceived by the people that they interact with as selfish and focused on their own work achievements. There is this attitude that they sometimes unconsciously project in personal relationships of, why are you wasting my time? If you cannot do something for me, then why am I relating to you? Now, this kind of attitude, you can understand, is not really heart-based, but it's more like mental-based, it's ego-based. So Venus and Capricorns have a lot of karma to purge through in their lives regarding the ways in which they are able to open their heart and allow love in. They are very loving individual. They're very pure-hearted and innocent. They're quite traditional as well. They love to rely on people. They love to be able to trust others. However, fear is the guardian that is protecting them from getting into exactly the type of commitments that they want. We've been under this energy since the 6th of November, and this energy is about to get one level deeper, guys, because we are preparing for a Venus retrograde from the 19th of December 2021 until the 29th of January 2022. Venus is retrograding in this really deep underworld sign of Capricorn. Capricorn represents the devil as a major arcana archetype in the tarot. Capricorn is ruled by the very stern figure of Saturn, or Kronos, father time, father karma. It is an energy of adopting a rather paternalistic attitude in personal connections. As I mentioned before, a lot of issues regarding fear, control, what can you do for me? What can I get out of this situation? Materialism, how do I come across to other people? Do I look successful enough? Do I earn enough money in order to be worthy of love? These are some of the self-limiting thoughts that a Venus in Capricorn needs to work through in this incarnation. And if you have Venus in Capricorn natally in your chart, then you are having a Venus retrograde on your Venus return. Feel free to watch one of my videos that I'm going to post it over here for you, where I talked a bit about what a Venus return means and what it can bring in your life. They are traditionally periods when we should be doing a lot of fun and pleasurable things, because we tend to set the stage for the next Venusian cycle with the actions we are taking during our Venus return. But when you have a Venus retrograde during your Venus return, this means old business that is resurfacing in order for you to finally deal with it. And Capricorn is actually the energy of cutting things, blocking people, separating. Enough is enough. I'm rising above. I'm standing in my self-worth, and I won't allow you to treat me like that. That is the high-minded Venus in Capricorn energy. It is about boundaries, healthy boundaries. I feel super attracted to you, but you've got a drinking problem that is affecting my emotional peace and stability. And I tried to help you, but I see that nothing is working out. So what is the decision that I should make in this connection? Let you go with love. This is the kind of energy that is playing out at the moment. Venus in Capricorns as well have a history of hooking up with people that they work with. So there might be some really interesting entanglements at the moment where people that natally have Venus in Capricorn might have slept with their bosses, and maybe their bosses are married, or might pine after a work colleague that is somehow unapproachable because they have a family with someone else. Now is the time of karmic retribution, and whatever you have been putting into a connection will come back to you tenfold in some form of material, tangible reward. And whatever you've been taken away only to selfishly please yourself, well, I'm really sorry to say this, but you're gonna have to pay that back. Now, this can happen as well if you were in a connection with somebody that has natally a Venus in Capricorn. If that person took from you, they're gonna reappear and give something back to you, if indeed you were the one in the wrong. If you took from that person, if you disrespected a Venus in Capricorn, you're gonna feel the pressure to contact that person and apologize. A Venus retrograde in the sign of karma, in the sign of time and Kronos, is a really powerful reset button on karmic connections. Not only that, my loves, but it's about to get a bit gangsta, because we don't only have Venus in Capricorn, but as you guys know, since November 2008, we've been having Pluto in Capricorn as well. And now this Venus in Capricorn transit, which for some of you is going to be a Venus return, and also this Venus retrograde in Capricorn, is conjunct the god of the underworld, Pluto. So take whatever I said about the Venus in Capricorn and apply the explanation of a Venus in Scorpio in combination with it. A Venus in Scorpio is a lot about owning your own power and personal connections. Both of these signs are not at all seen in a positive light by astrologers, especially traditional astrologers, because a Venus in Scorpio finds it very hard to let go of personal connections. Yes, even connections that might be toxic for them. While a Venus in Capricorn as well has this problem letting go of what is bad for them, not seeing people and themselves for their true self-worth, needing to heal a lot of their wounded father energy in personal connections. So a Venus conjunct Pluto in Capricorn retrograde is gonna pack a powerful past life punch. And if you are a Capricorn sun, moon, or if you have a Venus in Capricorn, if you have Pluto in Capricorn, although you guys are very tiny at the moment, so I don't think I'm able to speak to the generation of Pluto and Capricorns, because you're like in your puberty, in your teens yet. But let's just put it out there, because who knows, maybe you might stumble upon this video in the future randomly through the laws of serendipity. So let's just put it out there. You will be the most affected by this energy if you have these specific markers. Similarly, if you are on the opposite end of the astrological wheel from Capricorn, you are a Cancer moon, Cancer sun, Cancer ascendant, Cancer Venus. You guys are going to be incredibly affected by this transit as well, because it's almost as if the universe is holding a mirror of this energy onto yourself. So get ready, guys, for some deep past life karma dive. I would strongly suggest that if you haven't consulted yet a tarot reader for a past life reading, take the opportunity to do it in this period. You might find out something that will blow your mind and help empower you, right? Pluto, power, vulnerability, coming to terms with your deep, dark truths. In addition to this, I would suggest some Akashic records, maybe diving deep. And also, if you're able to do it, please do some shadow work in this period, because it will be incredibly healing. One final thing that might be significant with this energy is that Pluto has been in Capricorn from the 28th of November 2008 and has been collectively changing the way we understand our relationship to our assets, to our money, to our own self-empowerment, to our capacity to act our free will, to the ways in which we can open our hearts or close our hearts and judge other people and use money and assets and material goods to somehow try to overpower other people and push ourselves forwards in life. Personal connections have been through the ringer because Pluto in Capricorn is opposing Cancer, the divine feminine energy, the maternal, nurturing, caring aspects. But collectively, we've been moving away from an understanding of toxic fathering and toxic masculinity towards one of more caring fathering and nurturing personal connections, and also providing something that I hope one day will become a reality, which is universal parental leave. That would be something amazing that I hope the Pluto and Aquarius era is going to come through. This is going to start coming more into being, this energy of progress rather than tradition and kind of medieval understandings of personal connections or gender relations. This is going to filter through from the 24th of March 2023, when officially Pluto in Aquarius is going to come through. Up until then, we still have some more of this deep inner work regarding how we feel empowered and how we react to our self-worth through the means of our material aspects. But it's going to become even more unraveled next year under the influence of another significant transit that I really need to talk to you about. This other important transit that has been strongly affecting, especially the work that I do here as a tarot reader and an astrologer, and the ways in which we collectively think about personal connections, twin flames, soulmates, love, unconditional telepathic communications, people rising up to their elusive capacities. Well, this has been the work of none other than Neptune in the sign of Pisces. So Neptune has been in the sign that it actually rules, Pisces, since the 4th of February 2012, and this transit will complete on the 26th of January 2026. So wink, 2026 is going to be a massive year for changes as well, considering that both Uranus and Neptune are going to flip signs. I have some time until then to talk a little bit about Neptune and Pisces, the signs that are most affected by this elusive, imaginative, but also strongly dissolving of the ego sign are Pisces, Pisces moons, Pisces suns, Pisces ascendants, and of course the sign that is opposite on the zodiac wheel from Pisces, Virgos, Virgos moons, Virgo suns, Virgo ascendants. ascendants. You guys are the prime benefactors of this energy. And this is a kind of halfway between the gutter and the stars kind of vibration, because Pisces talks about dissolving your ego, sacrificing yourself to the point of forgetting who you are. Pisces unfortunately rules over mental health, drug addiction, alcoholic consumption. It rules over mysterious illnesses and symptoms that come over us when we do not handle our emotions in the proper way in which they are meant to be handled. Pisces energy at the same time can be about divine love, mysterious connections with the one, meeting our soulmate in the most random, magical way possible. It talks about opening your crown chakra to the divine and filtering through incredible downloads, which you can then transport to the collective in the shape of songs, works of art, blog posts, YouTube videos, sculptures, paintings, all sorts of wonderful things that we can do. You guys know, for example, that there has been this trend in adult coloring books. This is something that Neptune and Pisces ushered in. At the same time, there's been an explosion of tarot readers and spiritual occult practitioners to the point where we are actually having our very first StarCon conference next year. So this thing is only gonna grow because both Aquarius and Piscean energy deal with these aspects regarding astrology, the occult, and the ways in which we can approach something that is beyond the 3D reality in which we live. The only distinction is that Aquarius tends to have a very scientific approach to finding out new information about the limits of our mind and what lies beyond that, while Pisces has a more intuitive, let me feel my way approach through this reality. So Neptune and Pisces has been getting a lot of Piscean people and Neptune dominant people to sacrifice a lot in their lives. Virgo people, on the other hand, have had a lot of romantic energy pouring into their lives. There has been a very interesting seesaw frequency between these two humble, modest, hardworking, and creative signs. But ultimately, Neptune in Pisces is about establishing an ultra strong connection to the divine. And we still have a couple of years to go, guys. So if you feel that you haven't yet established that spiritual connection to help guide you through these really difficult times, there is still more time left for you to start believing in a higher force that helps you co-create the reality that you want to see happen around you. I also need to talk to you very quickly about Jupiter. Jupiter has been in Aquarius since the 20th of December 2020, collectively helping us come up quickly with solutions to ongoing fires starting up everywhere. We've been communicating like crazy as we were each siloed into our own personal worlds, trying to protect ourselves from the effects of the pandemic. We've been trying to come up with really innovative solutions. Jupiter in Aquarius has been giving us the vaccine, right? A cure to the pandemic, helping us relax in certain parts. But because Jupiter has been conjunct Saturn, so limitation, constriction, we've seen all of the problems that the vaccine created to the infringement of our personal rights. So we've been having a bit of a weird blessings year. Normally, when Jupiter is not conjunct Saturn, it is free to actually give us its full power. But because Jupiter has been from the beginning, Jupiter in Aquarius, from the beginning conjunct Saturn, it has been a difficult period of a blessing followed by a disaster, a limitation followed by growth, or things that have been coming into your life, but then you really struggle to find ways to integrate them into your current existence. A lot of us have been really growing in our mental capacities. We've been improving our skills, but we still don't know how to materially create something with them, how to actually bring our strong vision into a 3D materially tangible awareness. Now, this energy is about to be over, so I think that we can all breathe a collective sigh of relief, because this really strange up and down kind of energy that we've been experiencing this year will finally end on the 30th of December 2021, when Jupiter is going to officially move into Pisces for the next year. I will create a specific video on that and what Jupiter and Pisces will bring to the collective. But for the time being, I just want you guys to know that This energy, it has been quite difficult, but it has really helped Aquarius suns, Aquarius moons, and Aquarius ascendants to push forth through any limitations and blockages in their life. So if you have all of these placements, guys, enjoy it while it lasts, because on the 30th of December, this energy will leave you for the next 12 years. Saturn has been in Aquarius from the 18th of December 2020, and it will leave us on the 8th of March 2023. This is a pretty long transit of Saturn. It's actually staying longer than it is welcomed. We still have one more year to go in terms of collective restrictions, but with the dissolving influence of Jupiter in Pisces, next year, 2022, will be actually more freeing and more liberating, especially in terms of reopening us to the arts, to performances, to sports, to being outdoors in more fluent, boundaryless ways than this year has been. Also, we're gonna let go of this emotional detachment and sense of intelligent supremacy that some of us had this year as we were trying to get the upper hand in terms of who has the more facts or who has the better news outlet, because next year it will be a lot more about coming into our hearts. So Saturn in Aquarius will continuously bring us some limitations regarding the ways in which we can access groups, the ways in which we have access to the internet and to technological gadgets. It will continue to pressure us to come up with technological workable solutions to the ongoing problems that Uranus in Taurus is gonna flag up to us. I don't really have that much light, but I do need to talk to you very briefly about a significant transit in the chart. As you guys know, if you got a birth chart reading from me, I like to work with 2 specific asteroids. I find them incredibly significant. They color the energy of each planet that we have in our chart in completely different ways. This is the asteroid Lilith, the wild feminine archetype, which I talked about very briefly in the North Node in Gemini section. But now I want to talk to you about Chiron, the wounded healer. This is in mythology the archetype of the centaur, the wise teacher that taught Hercules how to handle his power. And it speaks here about a wound that we have within ourselves, and we cannot heal by ourselves. We can only heal this wound if we do some work of service for the collective. By healing others, we help heal ourselves. Now, Chiron has been in Aries since the 15th of April 2018. Collectively, we've all been feeling a sense of wounding regarding our capacity to be ourselves. We haven't been feeling that vital. We have been feeling that our energy has been somehow depleted. Masculinity and our relationship to our animus has been very fragmented. It's almost as if collectively we find it hard and we experience a sense of shame when we take action. We don't know exactly what is the right sort of action and how can we actually act in more spontaneous ways, in more charming, charismatic, playful ways. So there is a deep wound regarding our individuality that we need to work through. And we still have some time to go because this energy will stay with us up until 15th of April 2027, when Chiron will finally move into the earthy sign of Taurus. Up until then, we will continue to experience some very difficult wounds regarding our capacity to feel like ourselves. But we can heal that if we help empower others to be themselves more fully. So in this period, if you feel like your identity is somehow being stifled, restricted, or controlled, help others become better. Be the leader that you want to see others become in this world. It's really, really important that we overcome our sense of shame in order to take rightful action when the situation requires it. So our capacity to think on our feet is temporarily diminished, or it feels like it's underwater, but this energy will strongly return to us from 2027 onwards. And especially significant will be that year because Neptune will also switch from Pisces into Aries. So a completely new era dawning upon us. But up until then, guys, we've got other things to focus on. So let me just bring it back to the present. So by now, I think that you guys figured out that December 2021 is going to be a game changer. On the 2nd of December, Neptune will go direct. On the 4th of December, we have the new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius, conjunct the Sun, Mercury, and South Node. Venus will go retrograde in Capricorn on the 19th of December. The 24th of December, yeah, for Christmas Day, we're gonna have the final squares from Saturn and Uranus. We had two previous squares this year on the 17th of February and also on the 14th of June. Those were moments when tradition clashed very strongly with forces of progress. So there is a wave that is pulling us towards the future and another wave that is pulling us towards the past. And this wave is finally going to clash and reach its conclusion on Christmas Day this year. Jupiter will switch from Aquarius into Pisces on the 30th of December. This is such high-minded energy. A lot of shifts are going to happen, especially for the signs of Pisces and Sagittarius, Capricorns and Cancers. We're going to see a complete shift in the energy that we've been feeling so far. So if you have been at the end of your rope, if you've been wondering, Lexi, what is happening? I don't understand anymore. This is the game changer. This is the month that will flip everything up on its head. And yeah, if you're a Sagittarius stellium like me, I think you're looking forward to just feeling your energy come back up to life again and feeling more like yourself. Whew. Yeah, so a lot of transits, a lot of things happening. I really wanted to create this video for you guys because I haven't seen something like this right over there on the interwebs. And maybe it helps you both as a healing space where you can comment down below and let me know what you're thinking, what have you been going through, but also as just in terms of the timeline, so you get to know what is happening and when is the end or the cutoff date for that particular difficult transit that you're having in your life. This is all I have for you for the time being. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care.